In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to do a star cluster crochet scarf, just like you see. Star clusters are the huge rage right now online. Let me show you how to be able to do this, and I'm going to teach you how to be able to make this particular stitch even bigger if you wish to make it even into an afghan. Let's cover that next. Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd as well as yarnspirations.com. I'm your host Mikey. Today we're going to make this mood scarf, and the mood scarf is based on your moods. You can see all the different moods in the particular pattern, but if you'd like to use other colors that you wish, or not even to do a mood or a temperature scarf, that's completely up to you. Today's tutorial is all about the stitch, and it's called the star cluster stitch, and it really is amazing. We have a hat in this particular design. We also have a dishcloth if you'd like to play with that as well. Either way, it's huge right now, the trend of 2016 to do this particular stitch. You can see that it's not very complicated. It's just one set of instructions, and you can see that there's a diagram. Now if you would like to change this particular scarf into anything bigger, you just have to keep it in multiples of 2 plus 1 at the end. So you just go 1 2 1 2 1 2, and then just add an extra 1 stitch or 1 chain at the end, and then you'll have a perfect match to be able to do this. Within today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to do this stitch. I'm going to show you where you need to do to change colors, and that's all coming up next. You're going to need a 5mm size H crochet hook today, and just some Caron Simply Soft yarn. You remember you can switch off your yarns and the hooks as long as they complement each other. Let's get started right now. So let's begin with the slip knot. Remember that there are slower tutorials available online if you wish to learn crochet in a more slower fashion. So this is a 5mm size H crochet hook today. Remember that the slip knot never counts as one. Remember what I said is that if you want to change the size, then you're going to do it in multiples of 2 plus 1. But if you want to do the scarf exactly as you see, you have to just do 27 chains. So I'm going to improvise because I don't need to do the whole scarf in order to show you how to do the stitch. So we're going to start off, and I'm going to go 1 and 2, and if you're doing the scarf as is, chain 27, and then I'm going to go 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 until you get to the size that you want. So you can do a whole afghan or a larger scarf if you wish, as long as you keep it in 1 and 2. When you're satisfied with that, you're just going to add 1 extra chain at the end if you're improvising just like this, and if you're doing the scarf as is, make sure it is only chain 27. So let's begin to do the next part. No matter what size you're doing, whether it's a scarf or even improvised project, it's all the same in this row. So we're just going to go second chain from the hook. So you just turn it over. You can see right where my thumb and finger are pinching. So that's number 1, and the next one is number 2. Turn that chain over and get the back loop only, and insert your hook in, yarn over and pull through, and I want you to single crochet yourself all the way across this line. Once you do the first one, the chain will stay turned upside down, and just get the back loop only, and just single crochet yourself across that whole line that you're doing. So it doesn't matter if it's a scarf or an afghan, it's all the same. Just single crochet yourself across. This is your base point of getting yourself started to get ready for the stitch, which comes in row number 2. Now you'll notice in the instructions says that row number 2 is a huge paragraph. It's huge because the steps are complicated to tell you about, but they're really not complicated once you physically see it done, and I'm going to be deciphering that for you. So I have 2 stitches left. You're going to go all the way to the end and just go right into the end, and that completes off the first row. Okay, so you'll all have these no matter what size that you're doing. Let's move up to row number 2. So let's turn our work and go to row number 2. Row numbers 2 and 3 are identical no matter what you are doing. So what we have to pay attention to is that we have to pay attention to what is our right side and our wrong side. So now that I've turned it, what I want you to do is just pull up a loop, and we're going to mark this side as our right side, so it's our good side. And what I want you to do is just insert your hook in behind a stitch that you can throw in either a safety pin or extra piece of yarn, and this is just telling you what is the right side and what is the wrong side. And this is a recommendation in the pattern, by the way. So that's all I'm just doing, and now I'm ready. So we're going to start row number 2, and this is the start of every time. So the stitches are made up of 2 rows. So the start is 2 rows. So this is row number 1 of 2. Okay, and is listed as the second row on this pattern. We're going to chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. So how you do this stitch is that you're going to come to the second chain from the hook. Okay, so you're going to go to the second and just go right into the second, yarn over, pull through. You're going to come into the next chain, which is the third one, and you're going to go in and yarn over and pull through. Okay, you're then going to go into the first stitch where this chain comes out of, yarn over, pull through, and then you're going to advance 2 more chains. So just going into the very next chain available, or very next stitch available to you, just yarn over, pull through, and then just go into the next one, the next stitch, yarn over and pull through. You should have a total of 6 of these loops on your hook, and I am going to go through this if I'm going too quick for you. I'm going to go through this a few times. So now that you have all of those 6 on here, you're just going to yarn over and pull through all 6, just like that. So now that you have all 6 loops on your hook, you're just going to yarn over and pull through all 6. And take your time doing it just to get it all the way through. And then what you're going to do is just chain 1, and that will lock that star into position. So here's how we begin to do the next one. Okay, so this was the beginning one. We are going to draw up a loop, okay, in the first center piece. So just going right into the center, yarn over, pull through. You are then coming in, and you can see that there's spokes, okay, of the star. You want to come in between the first and second one and just go right through the project, yarn over, pull through. Okay, you are then going to come into the same stitch where the last spoke is into. Okay, this is back on your row again. Okay, and you have 4, but you always have to end up with 6. So the next 2 are going to be empty stitches that are carried on in the row. So just yarn over, pull through, and yarn over and pull through, and you have back to your 6 again. So yarning over, pulling it through all 6 like that. So chain 1 to lock, and let's begin again. So let me show you. So you're going to come into the center, pull through. Okay, you have your spokes on your star. You're going to come between the first and the second one, yarn over, pull through. You're going to come into the very last one where the last star was in, and then there's going to be 2 more empties, so just go advance another 2, just like that. And now you're back to your 6 again, yarn over, pull through all 6, lock it with a chain, and let's begin again. So into the middle, pull through, in between 1 and 2 of the spokes, in between, in the next stitch, or same stitch as the last star. Okay, so there's your 4, and so then the next 2 are empty stitches that are waiting for you. So just in, just like that. So yarn over, pull through all 6 of your loops, lock it with a chain 1 into the first one again, the middle, in between the first and second spoke, in the last stitch where the last star is, and then advance 2 more. So do you see why there was a multiples of 2? It just made sense, right? So just yarn over to pull through all 6, yarn over to lock, which is a chain, and this is your last 2 available to you. So just yarn over, okay, going into the next spoke area, last stitch is this last star, and then advance 2 more. And these are the 2 last stitches on your particular row. Okay, you have your 6, pull yarn through, okay, and lock it with the chain 1. And that's how you do this all the way through. And what you just have to do then is just 1 double crochet into the very final, which is the same stitch of the last one. Okay, so that keeps you in balance, just like so. Let's turn our work and go to row number 3. Let's begin row number 3. We're going to turn our work. Okay, so this time we have to pay attention to the centers of the spokes, and you can see the centers. You can see how they're all leading into one spot, no matter where you are. So let's begin. We are going to chain 1, and we're going to single crochet into the very first one here, which is the double crochet. So we're going to single crochet into that one there, and then it says to skip 1 chain 1 space. Okay, right there. Okay, and it says to do 1 single crochet in the loop which is closed for the next star. Okay, so it's in the loop of the next star, like this. Then we are going to 1 single crochet into the next stitch there, and then the next one is into the middle of the star. And that's all we're going to have to do on this thing. Okay, and you can clearly see it. So it's just one single crochet, and so every other one is in the middle of a star. And when I turn it around, you're going to be able to physically see that. Okay, and you're going to go all the way back to the start. And remember, on the outside here is that we just have one left. So when I go to turn it around, you can kind of see what's going on the other side. So let's move along and let's do a repeat of second row number 2 all over again. So this is a repeat of second row number 2, and we just have to basically do what we've already know how to do. So we're going to chain up 3. So 1, 2, 3, and we go second chain from the hook, going in, pulling it through, go to the next chain, which is the third one, pull it through. We go into the first stitch where the chain comes out of. Okay, there's your 4, and now we're going to advance 2 more. Okay, just like so, and now there's 6 loops on the hook, so yarn over, pull through all 6. Lock it with the chain 1. So we're just going to carry on what we know. So right in the middle, between the first and second spoke, like this, into the last stitch where the last star is, and then we advance 2 more empty stitches. Got your 6 back on here, and you keep on going. So yarn over to lock, so it's your chain 1, and then begin all over again. So when we ever go to change colors on this thing, we need to make sure that we're changing it on this side, so this is the right side of the project, in order to keep it balanced. Essentially what they want you to do is want to make sure that the row I'm doing right now is the new color, because that's kind of like the new set of stitches that you would see. So it actually makes a lot of sense, to be honest with you. Okay, so you're going to keep on going across just like this. Once you get in the swing of this, it's really no big deal. It's just a matter of wrapping your head around where to stick your stitches. And of course, you know, this is one of those things where you might think of other projects, including dishcloths. We also have a hat done in this particular kind of stitch as well. It looks amazing. So you're just going to go all the way to the other side, and we want to make sure that we pull through. Okay, we chain, oops, I just dropped that. I'm going to salvage that though. Watch you wait and see me do that. You're going to chain 1, and then we're going to then double crochet into the final stitch. To lock it, we turn our work and continue. So we just chain up 1 single crochet into the first one there. Okay, and we come into the center loop for 1 single crochet, and then to the side. And the next one is the center. See how it opens up that center even more? So you just carry it along, and again, I just finished a hat with this particular stitch, so I can identify the stitches really quickly, and it's really not a big deal, and I can see why everybody thinks it's quite popular. It is a fun stitch. So let's just change our color just for the sake of doing it. So we want to finish off this color here. You can see the 2 star rows now are really quite nice, and let's just change it to neon yellow. So this is how you do it. To change the color, all I'm just going to do is take my scissors, and I'm just going to cut the yarn, and I'm just going to take this yarn and pull it through, and I'm going to weave it in a few of the stitches. You can use a darning needle if you wish, if you really want to lock it in a position, if you're concerned about it falling out at all. And again, that is completely your choice. You are the creator. You can do what works for you. So let's turn our work, and I can see that this is the front side because I have marked it, and I'm going to grab my neon yellow, and I'm going to start with a slip knot, and I'm going to join it to the very first single crochet that we have, and we're going to start the star stitch or star cluster once again. So just taking both, wrap it and pull it through and through. And what I'm going to take is that this straggler, I'm going to pull it through the first chain of 3. So I'm going to go 1, 2, and 3, and let's start the cluster again. So second chain from the hook, going in, just grabbing them. That's the third chain from the hook for that one. We come into the very first one here. You can clearly see it because it's a different color. And then you advance 2 more stitches for your cluster. Okay, so you have your 6 loops on the hook, pulling it through all 6, yarn over to lock it, and begin once again. So into the middle between 1 and 2 spokes, the same stitch as the last star, and then advance 2 more stitches. Okay, you got your 6 in there. Pull through and keep on going all the way down. So you can see that this, once you get the swing of this, is actually really quite nice stitch. Looked amazing as a hat. Daniel's got quite a few. So you're just going to carry on until you get to the other side, of course. And so every time you want to change color, you just got to make sure you change it in the starting of the star area here, and then just carry on as normal. And this is really quite an easy stitch to get a hold of once you get the rhythm. It's really quite a lot of fun. And there's your 6 once again. Okay, chain 1 to lock it, and then start all over, and then this is the last one. So the stars will line up on top of each other as you look all the way down the scarf. So you can see that they can just go straight up when you're looking at it. So as long as you can see that happening, you know that you're doing it right. You're going to finish off, and don't forget the very final one. You're going to pull it through, chain 1 to lock, and then you're going to double crochet into that final one. So you're just going to turn it. Okay, so chain 1. And do you see how it looks really kind of weird here in these stitches? That's normal. So there is a good side and a wrong side to this entire project. So you chain 1, you go into the first top of the double crochet. The next one is to the middle of the star, and then in between the stars, and then the middle. And you continue to do that all the way across. So this is how you would do that scarf. It's really quite a neat one. It's really quite amazing, and hopefully you have a lot of fun with that. And of course you change the colors if you're doing the mood scarf with Yarn Inspirations, but again, you can do anything that you wish. And this is how you do this star cluster, and this is a really great pattern. Till next time, I'm Mikey on behalf of Yarn Inspirations as well as the crochetcrowd.com. We'll see you. Bye-bye.